Mr. Frankel, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, I'm Rex Frankel. I've been working to save all the Baiona wetlands and uplands since 1985. I'm the president and legal director of Baiona Ecosystem Education Project, and the spelling of my name is REXFRANKEL. Of the alternatives, if number 3 eliminated the dredging of Parcel A and featured historically accurate small creeks in it, then there'd be something to talk about. As it is, no project alternative is the only one that I could endorse at this moment. My main message to you is this. Your plan simply switches the locations of the wetlands and the uplands at Baiona. This switcheroo is a huge waste of our money. Restore the Baiona wetlands where they are now. Restore the Baiona uplands where they are now. You don't need to destroy Baiona in order to save it. There are many legal deficiencies in this environmental impact report. 1, your project violates the Coastal Act because it is not a restoration, and that's all the Coastal Act allows in a wetland. 2, your project violates the U.S. Clean Water Act because it floods the wetlands with polluted street runoff with no plan to clean it up. It is illegal to degrade the water quality in federally delineated wetlands, which is what the Baiona wetlands are. 3, your project also violates the California Environmental Quality Act in that it fails to analyze or include an essential part of the project, which is the Clean Water Act mandated street runoff cleanup plan that must be implemented before you can tear down the levees and flood the wetlands with water from Ballona Creek. You have no plan to clean up 99% of the flow of Ballona Creek, which comes on rainy days. You have no EIR, you have no analysis of its impacts or whether it will ever happen. The only plan that exists is to clean up flows in the dry season, which is not when most of the pollution and trash flows down the creek. This plan will mostly dry up the creek in the dry season by pumping 3/4 of creek flows to Hyperion Sewage Treatment Plant, which will then dump it in the ocean. A waste. Then your own EIR says it will be too difficult to provide fresh water to the wetlands, so you dismiss all freshwater alternatives as, quote, mechanized or high maintenance. But that problem of lack of fresh water is created by your partners. The chair of the Santa Monica Bay Restoration Commission happens to be the Los Angeles City Sanitation Department, who along with the LA County Flood Control District are doing the mechanically drying out Ballona Creek during most of the year. So you dismiss reasonable alternatives by using a straw man argument. You can fix all these legal violations this way. Give us a historically accurate project, thus it will fit the definition of restoration and comply with the Coastal Act. 2, don't flood our wetlands with polluted, cruddy Ballona Creek stormwater, which may never be cleaned up. Instead, pipe the clean flows during the dry season from the new Ballona Creek Dry Season Treatment Plant, which is being constructed in Culver City to restore the historical freshwater marshes of the Baiona wetlands. Because you won't be flooding the wetlands with pollution, you won't violate the U.S. Clean Water Act. Because upstream polluted stormwater will not flow into the Baiona wetlands, an upstream rainy season creek water cleanup plan is not an essential part of your project. Thus, you will then not violate CEQA by deferring analysis of what is no longer an essential part of your project. Finally, by leaving most of the land at Baiona where it is, leaving the wetlands where they are now, leaving the uplands where they are now, you will avoid destroying 1,000-year-old archaeological sites or desecrating graves, as the Playa Vista developer discovered on their Discovery Park. What an ironic name. You will avoid evicting the wildlife while engineering firms and their friends heal their wallets at our expense. Listen to the groups who saved over 600 acres when others were willing to let it be paved. This current plan is not bringing back Baiona. Let's actually restore Baiona, not turn it into something it never was. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.